I don't know. I guess that's YouTube. I guess that's Zoom. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for having me. Really, really appreciate the opportunity to meet every one of you. Cynthia, special appreciation to you for giving me the platform. I'm very, very impressed with what you're doing and your work, and definitely you have a community of people, of leaders that are very, very interested in what you're doing. So this evening, basically, I just want to share a little story of what I have learned through my own journey from just a little boy born in a village called Ibadan in Nigeria, and having his dream coming through a lot of work, of course, and pain and so much to explain. But of course, I'm going to do a presentation shortly. Let me just go ahead and do that. And after that, we can ask any question on your mind, and then we'll take it from there. So here we go. Yeah, this is my presentation. Is titled "Leadership as a Tool to Creating a Better Future." Um, and my name is Byron Lee. As Cynthia said, I am a leadership coach. I'm a football entrepreneur, and so many more. But this is where you can actually know a little bit more about me. Who is Bayonle Arashi? Bayonle Arashi is a correctional officer with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. I am a leadership coach. One more time, I'm a soccer coach. I have worked in the broadcast industry for over 2 decades. That's where I started my career from, working in television in Nigeria, which I started after my technical college education. I stumbled upon the opportunity to work at two media organizations in Nigeria, in my home country. I have published one book, but I've authored two. The second one, because I still work in the system, I do not have the capacity to release it yet, and that's why it is not yet out. So, and my first book is titled "Roadmap to a Successful Football Career." It was a book that was born out of my passion and experience working in the soccer industry. It was published in 2020 when I turned 40, to profile everything I've learned in the job and hoping to help the younger generation, younger kids that are aspiring to be soccer players. I have lived in three countries. My home country, Nigeria, of course. I've lived in South Africa for about a year. I live in Germany for a little bit over a year as well. Football carrying me all over the place, and I've been in the United States for it will be 10 years in April this year that I've had a chance to come to the country. I have a platform I called Midas Football Academy, which was born out of my passion working with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. It's a soccer and vocational school that is the sole mission of it is a 501c3 organization by the Internal Revenue Service. And what we intend to do with it is to use it as a way to mentor children and teenagers to save them from becoming at-risk youth. The data for at-risk youths right now, it's unbelievable, it's unreal. And more importantly, I have had a personal transformation coming from the broadcast background to now soccer, and of course an entrepreneur. What is leadership? Just as my title says, leadership has so many definitions, main definitions. One of them that resonate with me the most is the one that I have on my screen right now. I have a few people that influence me, uh, from Dr. Martin Luther King to Abraham Lincoln to Jim Rohn and to Dr. Miles Monroe to Leslie Brown, a lot of them. But Dr. Miles Monroe is actually my most important inspiration, someone I follow his work since when I was the age of 18. And his definition of leadership is, he said, leadership is defined as the capacity to influence others through inspiration, which is motivated and generated by a passion, motivated by a vision that a person has, which is birth from a conviction that is produced by a sense of purpose. I know it's a mouthful, but looking at it, it has the whole thing that leadership encompasses. It comes from influencing others through inspiration, finding things that people look at and they get inspired by. It's also motivated by passion, because you have to have passion for whatever you are inspiring people through, and you must also have a vision to see the end of that thing before you start following it and pursuing it. And of course, it is birthed from a conviction that is produced by a sense of purpose, which is a question I'm going to ask you guys at the end of it, that how many of us know what our purpose is? That will be the question at the end of this short presentation. Personally, for me, I always ask myself this question: that why do I want to become a leader? Wow. My story, as I've mentioned earlier, is one that is not something that normally come to pass in the sense of it, because I am from a polygamous family. My dad got a second wife when I was about the age of 13, and I didn't understand what was going on. And I started thinking of what is the next thing for me. This tell me to start looking for ways of how can I get better? How can I be different? How can I not live the path that my dad is living? And it is since that time I've always wondered and asked myself the question of why. Why do I want to be a leader? So for me, my answer to that is I want to be a leader so I can be a difference. I can make a difference and give people, the younger generation, the mentoring that has taken me so many years to be able to discover. I'm hoping to use the skill I've acquired, the skills I've acquired working in broadcasting, working now in the criminal justice, really seeing things deeper than a lot of folks out there see it, and help people to lead a happier life, to have a more productive life. And it's one of the reasons why I'm here today. I share whatever I have learned freely. I love to share my knowledge. I love to share the little wisdom that I have. And this for me is my answer. And I'm going to ask each and every one of us to share what their why is at the end of this session. What is your why? Start thinking about that for me, and then we'll share together for the next couple of minutes that I have. And also, my second question will be to myself is, what are you passionate about doing to make a difference in the world? What is that passion? From my definition of what a leader is at the beginning, and you see I asked that you must have a conviction of yourself. What is that conviction that you have? That how can you now be that difference? What is that thing that you want to do for the next generation? What is the vision that you see? For me, I want to use my experience working in the broadcasting services and system for many years, and my experience in the criminal justice system, hoping to build a sport facility and a vocational institution that will help young boys ages 13. They're going to come into the academy and they're going to spend 5 years at that organization. They're going to learn the basis of leadership. They're going to learn what it means to be respectful, to earn whatever that you want to own, to understand that there's nothing good that comes from a place of comfort, that you have to earn it. And we hope to have 120 boys in that facility every year, which they will keep on growing from there. By the time they are 18 coming out, they will have three pathways. They will either be signing their first professional contract at the age of 18, becoming a professional soccer player, or they will be on their way to the college to go study on scholarship, full scholarship. This is the dream that I have for it. Or the third option, which is you're going to come out with a vocational license. A vocational license, either as an auto engineer, either as someone that has an experience in any computer related studies, or media. Media has so many backgrounds as well, or fashion designing, because people will always have a need for clothing. people will always want to wear clothes. And that is something that I am really, really passionate about creating. And that is what I hope to do in the future. We hope that we can develop and inspire more leaders in different spheres in life, in sports, in politics, and in education. And as you can see, they already have the drawing right there looking at you every day. And of course, I always say it, who am I willing to invite in the journey with me? That was why I thank Cynthia for the opportunity, because we found each other. I can't even remember how I found her now anymore, but I know that it was because of my consistency to keep sharing what I know, to keep sharing my dream with the world, to keep planting that seed of how can I serve? What can I do to help? How can I make an impact that is beyond myself? And who are the people I need? So we are hoping to create a value curve on what people in the past have taken for granted in my industry. A lot of people do not know the potential that soccer and vocational education has anymore in the American system. I read a story a couple of months ago that in the United States, even before I was born, there used to be when kids are graduating from high school, that not every one of them will go on to earn a college degree. So there was a path for them to always have the chance to get a vocational license by the time they're coming out of their 12th grade. But somehow that was removed from the curriculum. God knows why. I don't know why. The reason why that happened was not reaching on the internet. I'm hoping that some of you leaders that are here tonight can tell me why, if you know. But that's one of the things we feel that a lot of people have taken for granted. Our leaders have taken for granted. We are paying attention to things that are not necessary, and we are paying attention to quantity over quality. Also, in my own industry, which is soccer, you only need to look at the country called United States with the huge population it has, with the amazing system in place, and look at it, the fact that there has not been any world-class soccer player being produced by the country in the last 20, 25 years. Midas Football Academy, through my leadership, is hoping to change this, to change this direction and actually create something that works. Because I also am of the belief that a lot of people do not want to do the work. They just want the result. Many people also want the money now. A lot of people don't believe in the law of sowing and reaping. But these are laws that have worked for eternal life. They've always been there. If you want to eat a corn or a maize, as we call it, you have to plant that seed. You have to water it, and you have to be patient for it to grow before you start eating that corn on it. So that's one of the things Midas Football Academy, through my leadership, is hoping to inspire, to create and offer something that has not been offered before or by anyone else. And hopefully tonight, I'm able to convince you guys to somehow either share the message of what I am trying to do, and or this will inspire you to also think about your own why and how you are willing to make a change. What are you willing to contribute to the younger generation? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to build? Because people will not remember what you fed them with in terms of food. They will not remember how much money you give them. They will only remember you for how much impact you make in their life. What did you do? What was your contribution for them that made them to be who they are today? And that's it. And for me, there are three components, three key principles to becoming a leader. These are lifelong principles that I have had and I've seen people put at work, and it's still there. And the principles are just very straightforward. And one of them is our mindset. Mindset for me is everything. Most of the time, when I am talking among my peers or the people that are younger, they wonder, why do you have such a belief system? And I said, because the people that have done it in the past, it is the same thing that they have. The first thing you need to have is to have a strong mindset. And one of the ways to have a positive and big mindset is to have some sort of spiritual practice. You don't get in life what you want. You get in life what you are. You get in life what you put in work for. For me, that's another story entirely. I was born a Muslim with nothing against the religion of Islam, of course. But my life really, really changed and took a different direction when I accepted Christ in 2008 when I was 28 years old. And from then on, I also was inspired by my mentor, late Dr. Miles Monroe, how he was able to read the Bible, start reading the Bible at the age of 13, and start asking questions that why am I poor and other people are rich? What is the difference between them? Why am I this and they are that? And he said all his answers was gotten from the Bible. And for me, Joshua 1:8 is a verse that every time I meet someone, I always tell them, make it a watchword. It is written in there that this law of God shall never depart from your mouth. And by reading and going through this law book every day, you shall have good success. Not just success, good success. And that for me is the genesis of how a big mindset is born. So developing your mindset is very key. And you can also develop your mindset through books. Books also have done some magical thing in my life. My first book was the one of the famous books I always say after the Holy Bible, which is titled Think and Grow Rich. I know many of you must have read it. If you have not, I hope you have. That definitely should be in your book library this year. That book changed my life. Reading books have also contributed majorly to how my mind works. So you have to develop your mindset, and that's one of the key strong principle a leader or an aspiring leader must have. Second one is what one of my other mentor, Dr. Leslie Brown, called OQP. He said you must practice only quality people. The fact that I have a friend as Cynthia as my friend tells something about who I am, and the fact that you guys are here tonight watching and listening to this also says a lot about you, because you could have been doing anything else. You could have been watching TV, you could have gone out to take a walk or go to the gym, you could have gone to the bar and do something else, but you are here listening to Bayonle sharing some nuggets with you. So you have to look at your circle. You have to look at the people you are around with. You have to practice having only quality people around you, people that inspire you, people that share things that you want to read, people that you want to share your dream with, people that water, that nourish you, that nourish your ideas, people that pray for you, people that contribute for you physically, emotionally, financially. And that is something that it's not in question how you have to grow as a key principle of becoming a leader in your industry or whatever sector you are. The final one is developing your communication skill. I'm still working on that, but my mentor also says that developing your communication skill is key, because once you open your mouth anywhere, you tell the whole world who you are. So it is very, very important that you use your language, you improve your vocabulary, you use vocabularies that are specific to a particular occasion, to people, and to events, and continue to work on it. It's not something that you do a day or two or a month. It's a continuous process. You have to continue to learn better language and better communication skill. So these are the three key principles that I am sharing today to becoming a leader. And I really, really hope it resonates with you. I'm almost done with this. And for me, I'm sharing this very, very simple but famous quote that even though now you have the empowerment to know what it takes to be a leader, that is you really developing your mindset, you practicing OQP, and you having people that are around you that are really improving your life. You should also take it as a matter of importance that change is not going to come to you just like that, because change is automatic, but progress is not. A lot of us think we have the idea we have 5 years ago is still going to be the same way in 2024. 5 years ago was 2019. Yes, that idea, if you are not brushing it up, if you are not looking at new initiative, if you are not working on your body to lose that weight, if that is your concern, if you are not reading that book to get more understanding about your particular project or whatever you want to work on, if you are not continuously learning on what you want to do on your dream, you will not progress. So change is going to come either you like it or not. All of us that we are here tonight are going to add a year, or we have already added it already. But if we want to be progressive in any area of our life, we have to be willing to put in the work. And that's basically what this quote stands for. And that was me in 2018 at the top in the middle, weighing about 230 pounds. And I had to tell myself, hey, look, you cannot live like this. You have to change. But of course, I was still a referee too, so I had to do something about it. I started going to the gym, started running apart from it. And I always love to share this as a way to inspire other people. And I really hope it resonates with you as well. For me, I haven't had all those experience, haven't had all those knowledge, haven't know that, okay, this is my role in the world. How am I sharing my gift? How am I providing value with what I know, with those lessons I have learned? And I'm imploring you guys today also to always look for a way to serve. Always find a way to serve with your leadership. I am also a referee with the United States Soccer Federation. I've been refereeing since 2015 in the US. I'm a state of Texas soccer referee, and it's something I really, really love. And the fact that they pay me when I do it is also something. As a correctional officer, I see young men in the prison just wasting their potential. And for me, I feel, okay, I will not be part of those people that will always complain about it. I will not be part of people that always say, oh, those kids are bad. What am I going to do about it? So I look for a way to serve, starting from on the field by correcting them when they use foul language, where they use words that shouldn't be used on the field. I go to schools, to middle schools, to high school, to share what I call stories behind the wall, stories of young men ages 20, 22, 25 getting life sentences in prison, getting 50 years in prison for something very silly, for testing a new drug, and then use it to assault if their female colleagues or schoolmates are going to rob that drugstore, going to the ATM to rob, or doing some other things that should not be done. I go to schools to share my knowledge, to tell them, hey, you have to find a purpose. You have to find a purpose, and these are the things that you need to do to help you find your purpose in life. So, and I'm asking you guys today also, how can I serve you? If there's any way you think I can serve, I am always available to serve in any capacity, either to come talk to younger people that you know. Those are my demography, people that are in their teen and early adult life. And I would also love to talk to people in the corporate as well, more about leadership. And that is about that. So for me, I will end this speech, this short speech, with one of my other great quote as well. This is by Zig Ziglar, and he said, "You can get everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want." For me, I still, despite me being a servant leader, serving people, I know I still want to be able to afford the basic things in life, and also knowing that the only way I can do that is by service. So I make myself available on the field and off the field to make sure that we have the work going on. We keep talking to our young people, we keep inspiring them. And I hope that you guys will join me in this journey through my project, Midas Football Academy in Houston, which is to mentor and inspire children and teenagers from becoming at-risk youth. And that's going to be my presentation for today. I want to say a special thank you to you all for listening. And I'm going to stop sharing now. And if you have any question, I will be willing to listen.
Actually, Bayonli, I'm so proud of you. I admire you. We have started from a very young age, who is already aware and really knows where he's going, and that is helping the young kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, that's the most important thing, no? I I just like my son, he focused on the younger generation, because the younger generation are the future leaders
Yes.
here in this world. And it's a lot easier to teach the younger generation. They're more open and more willing to learn. I'm not saying that the older generation are not willing, are not open. It's just that we were raised with a mindset, fixed mindset. So if we start early for the younger generation to be open-minded, be willing to learn, be to train them with this growth mindset, I know it will they will come
To have
along.
a positive impact. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and once they are I mean they are trained to focus on what their purpose is, then their mind, the way of thinking is towards that as well, service.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
easy to keep building on that. So I am opening the floor. Like I said, I wasn't going to do more than 30 minutes. If you have any question you want to ask about either the presentation or any other topic around this leadership thing, is something that is very, very peculiar to me because I know what good leadership can do and how much change an impact it can have in anyone's life. So if there's any question, the floor is open.
I have a quick question. You in Houston, Texas?
Yes, sir, I am.
So am I. So
Oh,
what part of Houston are you in?
Southwest Houston to be precise.
Southwest Houston. Okay, I'm in the Woodlands.
Oh, great, great.
Or maybe we can make arrangements to meet one day.
Definitely, definitely. Soon too.
Yes, sir. Pretty soon. Well, that's my one quick question for now. I'll come back a little bit later. Let me give everybody a chance.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. That was a great presentation. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'd love to. I see myself as a leader too, and yeah, I'm looking for opportunities to lead. So the best. Thanks for your presentation. So the best way to lead is to kind of find something to get involved with, and
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. It's very, very essential.
yeah. So whatever that is, like yeah. I do play soccer, so I love. I could go there too, but yeah, thank you. And yeah, that was very valuable. I took a lot of notes. So so thank you. Yeah, the idea is to get past yourself, like with Zig
Like in
Ziglar.
what area you want to know in what area can you serve? Is that a question? So that
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess what area?
So at the moment, what do you do, sir?
Yeah, well, I work for a biotech company in Boston, in Massachusetts,
Okay.
and there is a learning lab that but the company I work for, that they provide opportunities for high school students come into the company I work for and use the lab, learn how to learn about laboratory skills, and they're always looking for volunteers there. So that's one area. That's something that
Yes.
I always say I'll do it, but I don't. But I think it sounds like, when you do something that scares you and gets you outside yourself, that's where leadership is born, isn't it?
You have just answered it exactly what it is. It is not actually what a lot of people do, and I think that's why it's very scarce. And like, I don't call myself. I'm only calling myself a coach to you because I'm actually presenting today. I call myself a leadership student because I'm constantly learning, constantly learning. This is my current read. It's called Fatherless America. There are some data in this book that when we gotten together in 1995, and the data in this book are actually what is happening most in America today. This is also one of the ways you can get ideas through books, as I mentioned in my presentation. Whatever area that interests you, find a book in that area and start reading. And most of the time, ideas will be generated from there automatically. The more our brain is stimulated, the more ideas we're able to create through that, and that's how we can really have an impact. And that's just probably the little I can share with you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. If you get one idea, go for it, and then that could spring another idea. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'd love to know more about your passion for soccer. How did that begin for you?
Oh, that's something I really would love to share, but and I hope we see. Oh, yeah, we have time.
Yes.
Actually, when I graduated from what I called, as I mentioned earlier, a vocational 3-year education in 1999, after my high school, I studied broadcast communication, and I was just at home randomly with my dad that evening, and there was an ad on the radio, and the ad was like, there's an opening. So I applied. It was a broadcast station, and I went there. And even though as a young child I wanted to play soccer, but my dad whoop, let me use the word, he whooped the living day out of me, because for him that time, all you have to focus on is your education, school. In Africa, let me generalize it. They don't, our parents don't play with, they don't talk to you with mouth. They will get an actual cane or something and whoop you if they tell you something you don't do it. So starting my career in 1999, luckily for me, I started having opportunity to see more of the game. So about 2 years after, one of my supervisors left that organization to a bigger one, and it took me with him. And in that organization, I was transferred to the sport department. And from that sport department, I was exposed real quick to covering the national team qualifying tournaments. So I would go to stadium. I started going to big stadium, and I started seeing the potential in the game. And that was how I fell in love for the second time with the game. Since I couldn't play, I started loving it. And I had my own very big moment in 2006 to go to the World Cup in Germany. Germany hosted the World Cup in 2006. I have never seen such thing in my entire life. I was 26 years old, and that was how my dream and passion for the game was born. So when I came back to Nigeria, I said I have to do something, because in the summer of that year, of course, coming from Africa, we don't have that kind of weather. As at 11 p.m. at night, it's still sunlight. You can still see everything was still very clear. So, and I still kids playing game. Everybody, there was so much facility. So when I got back home, I called an old friend that we have to start something. And that was how we started this same academy in Nigeria in 2008. And in 2009, we had a chance to take the team to a tournament back in Germany. I took the under 17 boys to Germany for a tournament. And even though the embassy only gave 12 players visa then, believe it or not, we won the tournament both in Germany and in Denmark, right? And that was what really gave birth to the dream. And I saw that there was more to the game than just playing it, the passion, and there is money there too. There's money there, but I did not understand the financial part then like I do now. So that was how the passion was born, and I've never stopped falling in love with the game since then.
Thank you. I appreciate you telling me that.
Thank
I
you,
have a
man.
question. I have a question. You were talking about leadership earlier, and you've talked about how you came from a foreign place. You're in America now. You just mentioned you had this academy in Nigeria as well, and now
Yes,
I see you have it here in America. Can you
yes.
explain? And you also mentioned facing your fear when it comes down to leadership. You're gonna face those moments. So can you tell me, if you could possibly remember, how did you transition coming here, working here as a foreigner, to have the courage to start this academy in America versus coming from home, like your comfort zone? How did you step into the leadership here? How do you come out of your adversity or your insecurities or your fear and just do it? What made you just, how long did it take you? How long did you fight with yourself?
Wow, that's a very detailed question. Thank you for asking. I definitely love it. Uh, I think I mentioned during my presentation, but for the sake of emphasis, I'm going to repeat it here. Um, for me, I think meeting Christ was the foundation, and having the opportunity to have that spiritual background had a huge impact for me. Um, I wasn't that way. The way I was when I was 26 wasn't the way I was when I was 28. Apart from having the chance to travel outside the shores of Nigeria as a young man, you won't call a 26-year-old American a young man, but back then from Nigeria as a 26-year-old, having the opportunity that I had was really divine. And I think going to that country, being able to see the game of football at that level, and being able to communicate with people that don't look like me, that don't sound like me, but they listen to me and they respect me and they were open to my ideas, were some of the things that really built a strong foundation for me. And of course, knowing God, because it is actually there in the Bible that there is nothing you cannot do. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So I think that is what uh, is my foundation, and that's what I hold on to. And when I came here to the US, I didn't just get into the game as a soccer academy founder. That's not how I started. I first started when I got into my job with TDCJ. Before I did the job, I had some hard jobs like every other immigrant. I worked with Amazon, with FedEx, I worked with Goodman. Then prison came because I couldn't find broadcasting job, simply because I did not have the education and I don't have the accent. Those were the two things. Because for you to get broadcasting job here, you have to sound. Everybody have to be able to understand what you are saying. So that was not something that is going to be easy to do. So working in TDCJ was the option. So when I got to TDC, um, I was paying attention that there are many young people coming there, many of them, 16, 17-year old. And I was asking, what are you doing here? And many of them, based on the way they respond, you could see that the thing that they lack the most is the mentoring. They didn't have anyone at the strongest stage of their life between the ages of 13 and 16, where a young adolescent is shaped, where the brain formation changes. They didn't have that. And I started talking to myself, like, and I told you I read books. Last year, I read a total of 36 books. This year, this is already February. I'm on my eighth book. I read books. It does a lot of help for me, and I read books in my area of strength, in area I want to work in, which is football, soccer, and leadership. And that was how I said, okay, I already did this in Nigeria. How can I use what I know to serve? And that's how I started the soccer academy and make it a non-profit, because one of the other things I also saw is that the game of soccer is too expensive for anyone to just want to say, okay, I have a 5-year-old, I want to take him to start soccer. You spend on an average of $35,000 to $4,000 a year for your kid to play soccer. And then there's a free park there. So we made it free. Let the kid come play. The parent that can pay developmental fee, pay us. If he can't, come and play. And then the only way we are operational right now is through donations, through gifting, through grants, and that's what we are still doing. Looking for grants every now and then, and hopefully we'll be able to build the facility we have in mind. But that's the answer to your question. I hope I answered it.
I think what drives you more is your willingness to learn. and your passion to always. He just got back from the leadership event. Where was that?
In Miami,
In Miami.
and it was an invitation as well. It's big, just like when you invited me. They saw what I am doing, and they extended the invitation. It was organized by an organization called the FI Institute. They are headquartered in Saudi Arabia, so they invited me to come and share and learn from other people. And believe it or not, through that event, now I have some secret that I'm sure a lot of people don't have on what is going to be happening in the next 10 years, the power of artificial intelligence and what it's going to be doing, and how artificial intelligence will actually be bigger than the internet. I found out about that just 2 days ago. So, yeah.
Mhm. Actually, I've learned that a lot of schools are now offering AI courses. So that's how in demand now, AI. Mhm. Great. Oh, any other questions? Cindy, I know Cindy has always a question.
I always have a question.
Uh-huh.
My question relates back to your reading and your faith about do you read the Bible every day?
My Bible is right here every day.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You read. And and do you have a particular denomination or are you just Christian?
And that's actually one of the challenge that I found when I came to the US also, that there is too much denominational issues,
Yeah.
and they don't, most of them have several different doctrines, but one of the things I also found through leadership is that the Jesus Christ that the Lord sent to us does not have a religion. Jesus Christ did not bring religion to us. He
Yeah.
didn't bring religion to us. He brought the kingdom of God to us, not religion.
Yeah.
So I am a Christian. I believe in God. I know the laws. I know that you cannot break laws. I know the things that you cannot do that actually is written in the Bible, and that's what I follow. But if a friend invite me to church and he's doing his birthday, or he say come worship with us, every now and then, yes, I do go to church. But I have my faith is something I strongly hold dear.
Yes. I've read the Bible over 20 times.
That's good.
I
That's a
love
good
it.
thing.
I
That's not easy.
absolutely love it. Just wanted to let you know that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Is there any more question in the house?
Yeah, communication skills is a big one for me. I'm trying to get better at my communication skills. So you said something about that if you choose your language to your audience. So is that so like I work in the biotech industry, it's probably better that I speak in a certain way. Is that
Yes.
and maybe change it and not because I typically I bring my authentic self, but sometimes that doesn't work because it's too wordy, and the feedback is I need to be kind of more brief, to the point, concise.
Yes, you are right, but I'm going to say this to you, and I found it very, very, very interesting and strong that because you sound a different way, or because you are standing alone, or because you have a specific kind of way of thinking, doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that you just use the word your authentic self. But if you know that going straight to the point on issues, especially if you are talking around people, is very important. Like for example, today, Cynthia told me this will go on for 1 hour, but I have learned over the last time I talk to young people. You can't stand in front of young people for more than 30 minutes. They can't focus. They want to get on their phone and put you on TikTok or Instagram. And so whatever you want to say, you better say it and catch them with what you're saying. Make sure that you say something that they want to hear. So, and most of those skills, honestly, it's not something that you learn. For me, I also have a weakness, and I'm going to share with you because it's something we should be able to do. And it's what men don't do often, sharing their vulnerability. I tend to speak fast when I'm talking, especially when I'm passionate about something. But I have to understand, like I'm talking to you now, that sometimes people don't understand what I'm saying when I go too fast. So I'm learning to constantly remind myself that, hey, slow down. Sometimes when I'm going, I will have gone into it and I'll tell myself, slow down. So it's a continuous process. It's not something that is going to finish one day. You have to continue to do it and get better at it. That's why it is not something you do for a day, a week, a month, or a year. It's something that we'll do until we die. So I hope that answers your question.
It does, yeah. Thank you. That's a challenge to speak slowly, but yeah, thanks.
Is there any more question in the house?
What is your native language?
My native language is Yoruba. Yoruba is my native language. But as a Nigerian, we were colonized by the British. So I speak English, Queen's English actually. But now that I live in America, I have to put some slang in my words. So the Texan can understand what I'm saying. The Carolina can understand what I'm saying. So, but yes, the official country language is English, but
Mhm.
I have a native language. In my country, there are three popular tribes, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausas. The Hausas are the elite politicians. They are the ones that have led the country the most in the past 64 years of our independence. So they don't travel, they don't go anywhere. But my tribe and the Igbo tribes, we are the ones that go after education. Like in America, like there are many Nigerians in different sectors that are doing great. So you either find them from my tribe or the Igbo tribe. So that's how but we speak English generally.
That's good. Another question was, what was I going to say? Um, oh, I forgot. Oh, well.
That's okay. That's okay, Cindy.
But I would like to make mention about you. I was just laughing because of the slang thing, because I'm
Yes,
always being criticized by my children whenever I speak, because my accent, I still have this strong Filipino accent,
it's
and
normal.
they will always make fun of me. But before I was kind of scared to speak, but because I have a purpose, that's why I'm using the gift of tongue given to me by God. Even though I'm not slang, the most important thing is the message. The message
And
that
that's what I was about to say. Look at all the greatest leaders in the world, apart from the ones that came from the United States. They speak what they have to say. It is their message that
yeah.
people want to hear. It is not how you deliver it. It is what you have to say and
Mm.
how important it is to shape our world. The important, like a lot of people are not taking it serious now, but the mental health industry among the youth in America today is something that is serious. That I really hope that even most of us here today will really have one way or the other to contribute to positively. That is an area that we all need to focus on. Young people are destroying themselves on a daily basis with their decision making and how it's impacting their mental health. And that's one of the things that we do at the academy. At the moment, we focus only on the boys because, like I told you on your podcast, I, through my data, found out that young boys are the most endangered species in America today. They are the most endangered. In the state of Texas alone, we have over 400,000 men incarcerated. In the state of Texas alone, 400,000. In our 104 prison facility, we have 6 of them that are just female. We have the rest that are male facilities. The one I work in is a 1650 facility, and they are all men. We have maximum units that has over 3,000 capacity. They are all men. And about 5 to 8% of that are mental health patients. And you have no idea what brought them into that place. And that should tell you something.
Yes. Do you think It is because of the environment that they are in. I mean, how they were raised as well.
Absolutely. Environment have huge impact on your life. We are shaped by that. We are shaped by our environment and our experience. How did we grow up? One of the things that I think helped me, even though my dad was an absolute disciplinarian, because I know if my dad raised me in America, he would probably be in prison because he wasn't just a disciplinarian. It was what Americans would call what they call them today,
Abused.
abuser, but to an extent, I think if I probably didn't get those iron hands, I don't know what how I would have turned myself, right? So I have just one son, who is born here, and I've promised myself that whatever it takes, you will be okay. And I'm willing to go as far as sending him back to Nigeria for a while to learn the different culture and see how things are, that you don't always get everything you want, because every time you cry, you want this, you get it. That's not how I was raised. And that's what is happening here. Everything the kids want, they get. Whatever they need is there. Everything is there. If their mom can get it on credit and their parent can get them whatever they want, that has never ever resulted in anything good. But that's exactly what we are doing to our children, and it is not helping.
Mhm.
Every child deserves to hear the word no.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm. And that's why my children, whenever they ask for something, oh no, you have to work for it. You have to, if you're working, save money for that particular thing that you want to buy or to purchase. And I don't give them the money. They have to work for it. It's hard,
That's what
but then they will value more the money that they've earned. Every penny counts. Instead of when you give them, they just disappear so easily.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Well, if there's not any more questions, I am going to round it off, and I'm going to say thank you for having me, Cynthia. I really appreciate it. It's been a long week, as you know.
Yes.
um, I'm hoping to. I have to be up again at 5 in the morning for work, and then we train later tomorrow. But if you want to learn more about my project, is at midasfa.org. I'm going to type it. You can share our message to people that can help. If you know of anyone offering grants that you know benefit young people in terms of education, community development, please share. If you have opportunity to come share with young people around you, I will absolutely love it. I don't charge any fees at the moment to come talk to children. I just love to do it, to share the experience of what is going on behind the scene. Hopefully, as time goes on, it's going to turn to money, but that's about it. midasfa.org, that's the website. We also accept donations there in case you want to help us in any way. Is there. And our work, what we do is on YouTube, is on our social media, TikTok, Facebook, all the social media. You're going to find us there. So I just want to say thank you for having me, everyone. I really appreciate you all.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bayonli. Please continue doing what you're doing because you're really, truly making an impact, especially to the younger generation, who will
Thank you
be
very much,
our
man.
future leaders. Okay, thank you. And I wish you all the best. Thank
Yes,
you
Thank
so
you very
much
much.
also
Thank you
for the
very much,
thank you.
guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye-bye.